Hi guys, in this video we are going to cover a topic in our Next.js end-to-end deployment on a Kubernetes cluster. It's a topic that I have said we will might cover in this playlist and we are covering it. It's an important topic in terms of production. Company uses and it shows your skills to the recruiter that you also know this. So what we are going to set up is monitoring application logs using Grafana Loki. Currently, how can we debug our application? What application is our Next.js application? How can we debug if there error comes? We will go to the code and we will write console.log. Let me write. We will write some like this console.log auth error and error. That's how we are going to log console.log anything like this message. What's the message from AI message. That's how we will do the debug thing. It's not the best way to do it. It's good in the development phase, but in production your user don't want to see these logs in the console. So instead of that, we will going to create logs using Grafana Loki, and we will store these logs store in a S3 bucket. So we have a track what's the error came in on which date. So we can track our logs also, whether it's error or it's any kind of debug log. There's one thing inside the Grafana Loki. Grafana Loki is the Loki is come inside the Grafana, and you can say that Grafana provides Loki. Both are same thing. There's one thing called prompt tail that is important. Prompt tail that a recruiter might ask from you, what is prompt tail? Prompt tail is nothing but it gets log from your application and sends it to the Loki server or Grafana Loki sends, and this is your, let's say, next application. It will take logs from this application. We will see how can we set up this logs. The prompt tail will take logs from your next application and will send to the Grafana Loki, and we can monitor inside the Grafana dashboard. This is our dashboard, Grafana dashboard. So let's see how can we, first part is this, how can we create log this. I've already created it, so we will go this phase fast. So I've installed two things, Pino and Pino Loki, that helps us to create logs. So we have installed Pino and Pino Loki. Let me check my the audio. Then in the instrumentation.ts we imported the type logger and we declared it var logger undefined. That we have already done, so no point of creating it again. That's our Prometheus phase. We have already covered it in the phase 3. In this video we are only going to cover the Pino, not Prometheus. We are also not going to set up the Prometheus. We have already done it. We have imported const Pino await import. We are awaiting the import for to properly import this. Then const transport Pino Loki. We have created a transport in which we have given a host process.environment dot. This host we will provide it in the cluster. We will create secret a .env file as secret. If there is no Loki host, use this. This will not work. It's just for the random. If you are using the Docker, you can use this and give some port mapping to the Grafana Loki. But we are using Kubernetes. Batching interval कितने टाइम फ्रेम में वो स्क्रैप नॉट स्क्रैप लॉग्स को सेंड करे, मतलब प्रॉम्प्ट कितने इंटरवल में लॉग्स को ये स्क्रैप करे पुल करे from this Next.js application. We have given some labels also. What are labels? Are key value pairs that we have already understood in the Prometheus architecture. These are the key value pair: app, environment, and namespace. In which namespace does this Loki server is running? We will provide it in the .environment secret. Then we have generated a logger Pino level info. There is level 4 types of level, I think. Info 2 means a simple log. There's a warn means warning log, a error log, and a debug if you are debugging. We don't use debug as much. And we have bind the transport also in this logger, and we have attached it in the global this. Then in the lib, like created the metrics.ts, we have created a logger ts. It's just an instance of the global this dot logger. If it doesn't exist, मतलब instrumentation dot ts में वो ठीक से सेटअप नहीं हुआ है. It hasn't set up correctly inside the instrumentation.ts, and we are returning it. And inside the API that we have created the users folder, the get request that we have done the metrics phase, we have created an instance logger get logger from this @lib/logger from this. Then we are creating a log logger.info. There's 4 types of, you can see, warn, debug, info, error. So the simple log comes inside the info, and it is the labels event users.list method. By this labels you can run the log ul like the promql and can get the information, get the logs. You can filter the logs based on these labels. There's the log message, and when the our heavy load function is our user is fetched, then we are creating a log a user's fetched. If there comes an error, a error log will created, and we have created a post also to check logger. If there is no body.email, we are warning error देना चाहिए वैसे तो, and then logger.info user created, then if there is an error, logger error. That's it, nothing main. I've already pushed the image, so no need to push it to the Docker hub. So let's go to the main stuff. Let's go to our cluster. Our cluster is created. Let me clear the screen. Then we will install the repository of the Grafana Loki. Grafana Loki install. Copy this one, not inside this Grafana labs. It is giving some error, we will fix it and I will make another video. For now, copy this one. Let me make the screen big. Helm repo. If I write Helm repo list, you can see it is added to my local repository. Helm repo update. Good habit to update before using. Next thing what we are going to do, we are creating a bucket. We will create a bucket inside which we are going to store our logs. Go to your S3 buckets, create a bucket, give a name like Loki logs YT, everything as same. Create bucket. Our bucket has been created, and we will create a user. Go to IAM users, create a user, let's say Loki YT user. Next, attach policies. I've already created a policy. Go to the customer management, select this look. Inside this I have given the permission of S3 put object, get object and list object, and I have to edit this policy also because I have to, no need to change, but if I go to my buckets, set the ARN of your bucket. How to get your ARN? Select your bucket, copy ARN and paste it right here. In the double quotes, and same as one more resource, and give this slash star so it can write into the bucket. Inside the bucket, the Loki. So Next, take a look at this permissions. If you want to create, if you follow along, save changes, go to your IAM user, select this, create, go to your user, create access keys, go to the security credentials, create access key, application running outside AWS. Next, next. These are our access keys and secret access key. We will create a secret. Let's create a secret inside our cluster. Write kubectl. Let me give. Currently there is no secret. As you know, how can we create the secrets? It's kubectl create secret, type of secret generic, name of the secret Loki secret, from literal AWS access key ID. What's the access key ID? And the another secret inside this is the from literal AWS secret access key. Don't use mine keys, I will delete it after the recording, so don't waste your time, and enter. Our secret is created. kubectl get secret. Loki secret has been created. Our secret is created. The next thing, we have to create a Loki values.yaml, and first thing, let's see what we are going to install, which chart we are going to install. There's a catch. kubectl repo list, Helm repo list, and list all the charts. Helm search repo Grafana. It will list all the charts inside Grafana. We are going to install the chart, this Loki stack. I'm not going to install using this because it is giving me some error, but this is working fine. It is deprecated for now, but it is currently working fine. Deprecated meaning like it's not maintaining right now, so the developers has stopped maintaining. It's like a repo is present inside. Not active, but it is working. So we will use that Loki stack. Before installing, let me create a folder called Loki, cd Loki. We will create a values, the Helm values for this Loki stack chart. So it's important, values.yaml. First thing, we are going to write Loki enabled true extra environment from it's a list secret ref. What's the name of our secret? Is the Loki secret. And go to the config. Inside config, schema config, config, configs, and it's a configs, it's a list from किस डेट से आपको अपनी बकेट में लॉक्स चाहिए. If you are using fresh, you can give the today's date. So let me give some old date. Let me give some random date. Is the year, month, day format. Store bolt db shipper. What's this bolt db shipper gonna do? It going to write the logs inside the S3 bucket. In Loki we don't say logs, we say chunks. So what the bolt db is going to do, it will going to write the chunks of your application or your cluster chunks inside the S3 bucket. So next, what type of object store means where is this object store hosted? AWS. Schema we are going to give version 12. Index prefix, this folder is going to create inside this. The logs will or the chunks will get stored, and we will give a period. That's 24 hours. And at this schema config level, we will write a storage config. Means our bucket information. AWS bucket names. What's our bucket name? Let me see. What's the bucket name? Is the Loki logs yt. अरे क्या हो रहा है? Loki logs yt. Paste it right there. And in which region? AP South 1. And give a S3 force path style. Let me see the F is capital or not. Grafana Loki, if I go let me Grafana Loki, where's the documentation? 3 logs. Get started. Grafana Loki S3 manage storage. There is, I have seen Bolt DB shipper and storage schema, storage config inside. Let me find it. Always find yourself, don't ask to the AI. AI से पूछ सकते हो, but it will also give some wrong information. Let me write on Google S3 force path style. This one is, and yeah, copy this. I'm always get confused. F is capital or not. So true, and bolt db shipper shared store AWS. Come to the storage config label, add chunk store config. In this max look back period, (0 second), and table manager. That's the default setting. You can just copy paste from the Grafana docs. And inside this table manager, retention deletes enabled true, retention period. These are the default settings that you have to give. Now the main thing is it's prompt tail. We have to enable it. What is prompt tail? I have already tell at the starting of this video. Prompt tails pulls the logs from your application and send to this Loki service, and you visualize inside the Grafana dashboard enabled true. And in Grafana you can give persistence also. We have not learned it persistent yet, so we are going to enable false. If you already know persistence, so you can give some space to the Grafana also to store some information. Let's say 5 GB of space. PVCs you can generate. What are PVCs? Persistent volume claim. We have not learned it yet. When I get time, standard I think, and give us sidecar at the persistence level. Data sources enable true, and image the latest images 10.3.3. That's our values.yaml. It will take these default values and apply inside the Helm chart. Save this and install this chart. Helm install Loki as the name. What's the chart we are going to use? Grafana Loki stack that we have already seen. Use these values.yaml and install it. We have already created a, let me see, kubectl get secret. It's a Loki secret, right? And inside values.yaml, what's the secret name? Loki secret. Yes, everything is fine. And apply this and check the pods. Kubectl gets pods. Our container is creating. Dash watch. Crash loopback error. And why it's saying crash loopback off. Let me try to uninstall this Helm list. Loki copy Helm uninstall Loki and Helm list kubectl get pods, all pods terminating. Let's error. Yeah, it gets terminated. Now let me install the again. And kubectl get pods crash loop back off. I don't know why it's saying like that. Everything is running, but now this is failing. Error. I have one thing figured out. Let me uninstall first Helm uninstall Loki. Now when I check my values.yaml, I make this prefix p uppercase. It should be in lowercase. Make sure. So that's a error, I think. I hope it will run. Let me get all the pods inside the cluster. Let me check my audio. Now let me apply this. I hope everything will run fine. Continue creating, and yeah, everything is running. Loki 0 is running. Just the prefix p is uppercase. Our Loki pod failed, so now it's running. What we are going to do next, we are going to see the logs of the cluster first. Let's check whether the Loki is correct connecting to the Grafana or not. So let's access the Grafana dashboard, get service. So the Grafana dashboard is inside this service. As you know, in the phase 3 we have find out to log in into the Grafana we need a password. How can we get the password? Kubectl, let me get the secret first. So we write kubectl get secret this Loki Grafana and -o JSON path .data .admin password. That this thing we have already seen, not one time, a lot of time, and we have to decode it also. I hope you will know why we are decoding. So that's our password. Now let's put forward this service kubectl port forward this Loki Grafana service, and in which port? 3000 port, and the 80 port map this. We are running cluster things inside an EC2 instance, so we have to give an address. Our Grafana dashboard, I hope it will running. Go to your EC2 instance, running instances, and that's our instance. Copy the IP, go to your dashboard and port 3000. As you can see, we can access our Grafana dashboard. Now the default username is admin, password that we have already decoded also and paste it inside the password field. Login successful. Go to open menu, explore. As you can see, Loki as the default server right now. If I run thing like namespace default and run the query, as you can see, we can see the logs. Some of them are error, some of them are info. So we are seeing the logs. That's good news. If we go to our bucket, you can see that's our cluster identity JSON. So now the next thing we have to do, we have to use our app. Let me deploy our app. Let me get the repository image name and tag. What's our next YT? Tags, and copy this tag and go to your manifest that we have created during the playlist ls, and there's so many files. First thing we have to apply the namespace. Kubectl apply -f. Namespace is created. Go to your deployment and change the image, and we have to create a next secret file also. Is the right tag? I forgot. Yes, 463. 463, it is correct. Go back, and deployment is, and we have to service.yml. We are not going to use the ingress, we are just testing the logs, so we are going to create a load balancer service, and we have to create, is there any .env file, so create a .env file and add the secrets. So the first thing is Loki host. What is Loki host? It is going to be the http Loki, that's our service name dot in which namespace default dot service dot cluster, and in which pod it is running, which port dot local 3100. The next environment variable is, if you don't know, that's the URL that we can connect inside the cluster. If you have an self-hosted database inside your cluster, you can access your backend with the backend your database. Sorry, you can connect your database via backend by this URL, like backend dot which namespace you are running this service. That's how this URL works. App name, let's say next app, and KTS namespace. Let me get the variable directly. Namespace default namespace में रन कर रहा है Loki, and the node environment, let's say we are running in production. And one thing, the log level info. That's it. That's a .env file. Create a next secret. What's the name of the secret? Next secret. How can you create it? Simple, run a command. Let me clear first. kubectl create secret, type of secret generic, name of the secret from file, not from literal. .env, what's the file name, in which namespace? Next namespace. You can see our is created. If I write kubectl get secret namespace and -o yaml, you can see that's my secret file, namespace next. Now I can apply my deployment also. kubectl get all the pods inside the cluster -A. Container is creating. Let me watch it. Container, all containers are running fine. Let me apply the service also. And let me get the service inside the namespace next. And that's the URL of our load balancer, AWS load balancer. Go to your browser. It will take some time, so let's wait. As you can see, our service is running and our app is running. And as I forgot to tell you that I have created a form to test the post request. It's not something that you can't create, it's a simple form. And so our application is running. Now what's the next thing we have to do? If I go, now we have to reapply this, I think. Now let access our Grafana dashboard. Port survey, port forward. Go to your browser, reload it, and come to your application, explore, and write a query like app next app and run query. As you can see, we can get the logs of this app. There's the default logs. This has generated. And if I try to access API/users, it will take 2 seconds. And let's see if we can access. As you can see, we get 2 logs, user fetching users and user fetched. Our logs are running fine. So go to your dashboard, you can also create a dashboard, add visualization like we did. You can see the Loki, and we use logs. We have already seen this frame before in the phase 3 when we were using the Prometheus. And in the logs, builder, क्या सर्च करें इसमें से app next app run query. See the logs. add a JSON parser, error. Now if I post something, where's my form that I've created? Test.com 1 2 3 4 5 6, submit. You can see logs created, user dot created this event, and the message user created, and these are logs are getting stored inside our S3. As you can see, this is the folder. Inside our chunks are getting created. So what work, who is writing the chunks inside this S3 bucket? The bolt DB shipper. And who is providing these logs to this Grafana is the Loki. And who are providing the logs to the Loki? The prompt tail. There's the simple architecture of logs. Yeah, so that's the basic, not the basic, it's very high level. I think nobody have tell you. There are few videos of this complete setup. I hope you like this video, and make sure you like and share the playlist. And I also finished the playlist of front end deployment. It's a must watch playlist. So if you get some time, you can see that playlist. Also in that playlist I have given a full tutorial, not a tutorial, full a course. I'm not a tutorial guy. I tell you the end-to-end things, how in production is use, and how can you use in your applications like a developer. So yeah, watch that video. You will see how companies deployed their front end to the internet. Yeah, thank you.